I am showing you a process which has worked reliably for me. However, try it at your own risk. The makers of great stuff have come up with a new gadget, the Quick Stop Straw, which in my experience is unnecessary, and having used this for the first time, potentially dangerous. And they tell us on the back of the can, one-time use should be expected. And since this is the only straw available, it pretty much guarantees that most people will only get to use this one time. You screw this on like the old one. It's got these little fingers here that will kind of click into that crevice. And this valve operates by, if you push it like that, you will see the green part here that tells you that it's open. It's open on the end. And you push it in, you'll see red. That green part will be all the way up here in the end. That valve is now closed. So you get ready to dispense this and open the valve. You spray this. By closing that, it keeps that little bit of foam from oozing out the end of the nozzle. Don't see a need for that, never have. I'm always wearing gloves when I do this. I take a paper towel, catch it, wipe it off, and go on to the next one. Now if you let this sit for a little while, that foam will cure out. You will no longer be able to open or close this valve. And that will pretty much determine that most people will not be able to use the remainder of the contents, which in this case, this can is about 90% full. I let that cure out, take this off. I use my screw technique to reach in there and pull that little remaining plug out. Again, after this is cured, and you want to be very gentle about that. You don't want to go running that screw down in there. Wear gloves and safety glasses, and do it at your own risk. Now, with quite a bit of force, you can pull this apart, and you'll have foam around this piece, and foam will be caked up in here, and possibly some down in there. I just scraped it out, cleaned that off, got the foam out of here. Then you can take this and push it back together with quite a bit of force, and now that valve will operate again. At least one more time anyway. When you get ready to use this, you want to make sure that that valve is open. You can see the green. And if you're on top of a ladder, you're using this, you go, oh good, this new improved can now takes two hands to operate instead of one. But anyway, you spray your foam, and then you can close this, and that will keep that little bit of foam from oozing out the end of there. And this foam set up in about 15 minutes. It was hard. You always want to check your expiration date. Make sure you're getting a fresh can of this foam. It hasn't been sitting in the store too long. So if you wait too long, that will be set up. You won't be able to use the can again. And the other thing, you go on to the next place, or if you decide to add a little more foam because it hasn't quite expanded enough, yeah, forget about this stupid valve. You squeeze the trigger, no foam comes out. Well, you've trapped pressure between the valve and the nozzle. So no foam comes out, and you go, oh, no foam. Open the valve, and it'll blow foam back in your face. It can happen, and in my case it did. My preference on this will be to take this valve, pull it off of there and forget about it. This is wide open, and you can still use it like the older straws.